they're fighters. I think the discipline part is still because that's what discipline brings out your identity and it allows you to. We've seen the identity in spurts, and that's a thing that we just have to be there. You go 5 turnovers and you go 20 turnovers in a game. Like that's where the up and down comes, and we have to be disciplined to establish the consistency and the identity that we want to be and who we want to be.
Doug, you've shared before that you feel DeMar is an underrated passer. He's really stepped up in
8
that area,
assists.
racking up
Yeah.
the assists as of late.
Yeah.
How valuable is that, especially for a guy like Meek and Max to play next week?
It's huge because you don't always want those two, Neek and Max, to have to handle the basketball in certain situations, and when they're secondary or they find themselves in position where, excuse me, they are receiving the basketball, he draws so much attention that his willingness to pass the basketball is just a credit to someone who scored 27,000 points in this league and goes out on a night-to-night basis and tries and wants to win regardless of the circumstances. So, but it's helpful for those two, uh, whether it's tap screens, whether it's setting screens and rolling hard, whether it's finding openings in whatever defense we're facing. Those guys, they benefit from a guy like DeMar playing that way.
Coach Christie, Devin Carter, how you like how he's progressing along, and is there anything more that you would like to see out of him?
Had a conversation with Devin, and before Dallas, I thought that he played fantastic as a young player. The next game, a little bit of a dip, not the same kick, but that's to be expected. His ability to pick up, make people feel him on defense, 94 feet. Opportunistically, if it's a made basket and you see the opportunity, or if it's free throws or a dead ball situation, and then just his speed and gravity getting downhill. And if he doesn't have it, set us up, spray the basketball. But it's going to be a work in progress to find as a young player the consistency that comes along with that on a night-to-night basis, no matter who you're facing.
Coach, just over here real quick. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Coach, just a two-part question. One, just looking at this season overall, what are a couple of things that have just been a reoccurring or a consistent theme? And then two, what do you want to see finishing this that can lead into the next year?
The reoccurring is probably the 60 seconds to 120 to 240 seconds where we just let it go. And it happens that quickly in this league. I mean, we've had multiple times in film sessions where we are right there, and in that amount of time, whether it's closing quarters, closing the half, or sometimes in the middle of a quarter, and we let it go. That is something that it can't happen. Going forward, obviously developing our young players and developing our identity at a consistency that allows us to catapult that into next year and first into the off season and then the next year.
Hey Doug, when you look at what you've seen from Nick recently, what do you feel like are the next steps for him? I know you've mentioned the word consistency a few times. I imagine that's going to be part of it. But
yeah.
Beyond that, like what are the next steps that you see for him?
Continued decision making that is 0.5 instantaneous, like his reads, understanding. In our league, the really elite players are able to make the read even before they get the basketball. So he's surveying, he's seeing what's there. Am I going to shoot it? Do I have the drive? If I do, what's next on the backside? Is help going to be there? Is it not? And then the ability to make on time and on target passes. But for him, the growth on the defensive end, I think like most players, offense is something everybody wants to do, but his ability to guard 1 through 3, and if it's a smaller team, you can bump to 4, but we're talking the elite players. We want him at that guard position and the ability to chest them, pick them up, disrupt, catch drives, and then probably one of the biggest things is a leadership aspect and a communication aspect that I know he has in him, and that's just being a young player.
Doug, in those couple minute stretches where you said that your guys are letting it go, what does stabilizing in those moments look like? Is it slowing it down and sort of resetting? And how much of that is also part of a young player's development, being able to recognize that
Yeah.
and then take step those moments back?
In those moments, you have to understand, first, you have to value the basketball at a really high level. You also have to finish defensive possessions with rebounds. So that can be offensive rebounds, kick out, dagger threes. Those things absolutely kill you. So is that the ability to, do all the little things like boxing out, making sure, and when I say box out, I don't mean like turn my back to him. I mean, put my forearm in his chest and make sure that he does not get the basketball. Those are little things. Then going to the other end, and instead of settling for whatever you're getting, like slow it down. Let's move the ball from side to side, move the ball and move bodies. I mean, that is a beautiful style of basketball, but also, not everybody has great defenders, and you want to search them out. You want to make them work. People make mistakes. That's the whole point of making sure that we're playing that way. And in that, if you look at some of those possessions, if you just milk the clock and just shoot it with 1 second on the clock 3 times instead of a 9-0 run, maybe they only score twice. So, clock management, those type of things.
Anything else for Coach? Thanks, everyone.
Appreciate you guys. Have a good one.